been going
Yeah.
to the guy in China. So he was like, these people, they're not paying the rent, they're not talking to me, like...
What's going on?
Yeah, so we had to go through mediation and stuff. It's a bit of a pest, but
Yeah.
it was fine. They're really good this time around. They
Yeah.
got a Mandarin speaking agent, and so
No issues.
it's fine. Yeah.
What about, did you have any issues with the landlords at the two sites?
No, the landlords were great.
Yeah, understand you.
Well, our landlord at PCP is one of the co-owners of the hotel, and
They were a
the
little easier.
PCP. So yeah, it was fine. And the guy at Reuben is really nice as well. But yeah, we just did takeaway, and it was very boring.
It was a treat though. I was like, I'd always walk past and I'd be like, I'll get myself a little treat from Paramount.
Yeah, yeah. No, so that's the boss's new. It's very complicated, but.
Was it operating during lockdown?
It started during lockdown. It started doing things.
Yeah.
Ha! Showbiz!
So
Hey, my name's Jen Fricker, coming to you live on the Concrete Playground Facebook page from Tio's in Surrey Hills for Hot Takes and Takeaways, episode 2. It's a series where we talk to some of the most fascinating and opinionated members of Australia's food community and hospo scene to tackle the big questions of what's going on, what's been happening in and out of lockdown. It's unedited, it's uncensored, so look, just fair warning, there might be some language in the next hour. If you don't like that, maybe leave the stream or stay with us if you're brave. Throughout this next hour, we will be giving away 25 Uber Eats vouchers provided by our partner Uber Eats. To win one, we've got some food trivia questions we'll be throwing out throughout the session. So make sure you put your answers in the comment section. And if you get it correct, we'll reach out and get you that Uber Eats voucher. You'll be having takeaway on us tonight. So before we get into our awesome guests that we have joining us on the stream this afternoon, I've got your first trivia question. Here at Tio's, the specialty is margaritas. What are the 2 clear spirits that are the hero ingredient in a margarita? Chuck your answers in the comments section and you can be winning one of our first Uber Eats vouchers of the day. We got some second question for the food trivia quiz. And this is a venue question coming to you from Tio's. What is the name of the Micro Mezcal bar located at Council Place in the Sydney CBD? Chuck your answers for both those questions in the comments section. And if you get it right, we'll reach out with some vouchers. Let's get into one of our first guests for the live stream this afternoon. Our first guest is the proprietor, owner, and drink maker behind Cantina Ok, Tio's, and Cliff Dive, who recently added Seltzer Impresario to his resume. It's Jeremey Blackmore.
Hi.
How you going?
I'm so good.
Nice to see
I got an
you.
Applause. Thank you so much.
Applause,
Great to
mate.
see you too.
Nice to see you repping the Cantina Ok
yes,
merch.
I was dressed today by my handler. Thank you so much.
Before we get into some of the larger questions around lockdown stuff, what was your first hospo job?
I worked at Pizza Hut.
Okay.
I worked at Pizza Hut when I was 14, and then at 17, I graduated into the grey shirt of the manager.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was assistant supervisor.
Amazing.
And doughboy.
What was your favourite pizza? To
That
make
is a
and to
tough
enjoy.
question. I was the cutter.
Uh-huh.
I didn't make the pizzas.
Okay,
We were
to
very
cut?
segregated
Yeah.
in there. I was only allowed to do the cutting.
Right.
But my favourite pizza to eat would be, I think at that stage, barbecue chicken.
Barbecue. Okay.
That's
Wow.
it's a strange choice now, but barbecue
Yeah.
chicken pizza.
I feel like that is one where you've been looking at it for so long. You're like, I'm going to try this, and it
Oh,
works
yeah.
out.
It does, but it's barbecue sauce on a pizza.
Yeah, I
Yeah, there
guess.
you go.
It's pretty simple with
Yeah.
chicken. Before we get into our second guest, I've got another quiz question for you. If you've just tuned in, we're throwing out Uber Eats vouchers all through the live stream this afternoon. So just answer your answer to the trivia question in the comments section, and you could be getting yourself an Uber Eats voucher. This is the next trivia question. Filmmaker David Lynch once said, "Even bad blank is better than no blank at all." So you need to tell me what liquid David Lynch is referring to in the blanks. Chuck your answers in the comment section. And yeah, we will give you a voucher if you are the first one to get it right. But let's get into our next guest. She knows a thing or two about coffee. She's the operations manager at the Paramount Coffee Project and the Paramount House Hotel, as well as Reuben Hills and Shawarma. A cat enthusiast and master of getting shit done, it's Kobi Morris. How you going?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, okay. For a noob, someone who, say, has a freelance job hosting live streams and doing stand-up comedy, what is an operations manager? What's the day-to-day of an operations manager?
At the moment, it's running around covering shifts.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of rosters, some emailing,
Yep.
drinking a lot of coffee, occasionally making some shawarmas.
Wow, okay.
It's varied.
And how did you get into that?
I started at PCP as a barista when we opened, and then I just stayed. So they eventually were like, okay, have a new role. And then they did it a few times, and now I'm here.
I feel like that's a gross understatement of the hard work it's probably taken. I don't think you just stuck around until they were like, all right, we'll promote you.
Persistence, I guess.
Being like from a barista background, what's the most annoying coffee order?
It's not necessarily one order, but I will say that these days it's like every coffee's on a different milk.
Right.
Whereas like when we started, it was like 80% full cream, 20% skim, and then like an occasional soy. Now it's like you're constantly changing jugs, and
Right.
it's not necessarily bad, but it is it's different.
I feel like
Yes.
I feel like it's a very diplomatic answer.
Yes.
You're not trying to get any of the
Oh my God.
people, the oat milk people offside, and
Look,
I appreciate
I
that.
love oat milk, so I can't really complain about it because
Right.
I am also an oat milk drinker. But
Shout out to the oat milk fan joining us on the stream this afternoon. All right. Let's get into our next trivia question before I introduce our final guest on the live stream this afternoon. Our next trivia question is, what extremely popular handheld menu item was originally called the Deutsche Beef Steak? Chuck your answers in the comment section because our next guest is an absolute lord of the Deutsche Beef Steak. I don't know if you've ever been referred to as that, but there you go.
Not to my face.
He's one of the internet's premier burger aficionados with over 200,000 followers on the gram. Please welcome to the man behind Issac Eats a Lot, Issac Martin. Hello.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. So, what is your job? I mean, that sounds rude, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, I feel like you do more than just eat burgers on the gram.
Yeah. I'm managing beef steak, the suburb or whatever it is. So like, I obviously am known for that part of what I do, like the blogging, burger eating stuff. But I actually work like behind the scenes. I run my own media company doing social media stuff for a lot of independent venues. So that takes up majority of my time. And like everything, my social media is just the 3 seconds of glamour that you see in the public life of it.
Yeah. Favorite burger you've eaten so far? Is that hard to ask?
Oh, if she didn't want to offend coffee drinkers, I want to offend burger shop owners. I'll say a style of burger. Like smash burgers are my favorite style of smash burger.
What's a smash burger?
So like in the grand scheme of things, it's just like you start with a ball of mince and you smash it onto the grill instead of just putting like a pre-pressed patty down.
So it's velocity. It's burger plus velocity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the theatrical side of it that I like, yeah.
Oh man. Okay, cool. Well, let's get into some, oh man, I've just completely lost my place.
Now,
Yeah.
Are you like a mukbang kind of person? Are you like, people watch you eat? Or
Yeah,
that's
tell
what I
us
need
about
to
your
know.
yeah.
I feel like an ASMR thing.
No, so you see, I missed the boat because I've been doing this for so long now that I used to just eat ridiculous amounts of burgers for my own sake.
Okay.
And now it's cool to do it for other people's sake.
Okay.
And I've missed that, like the ship sailed.
So you don't think you could start a video channel of you just chowing down on burgers? I don't know whether that, like, you're the social media expert here.
If someone wants to watch me eat a lot of food, comment in the comments and I'll do something up for them.
Yeah, I will say, if you've got any questions for our panel as well, I'll be guiding the live stream this afternoon. But if you have any questions, make sure you chuck your questions for Kobi, for Issac, for Jeremy in the comments. Keep it nice.
Yeah.
Unless you've got some kind of special OnlyFans request about burgers.
Yeah, Monday
then
mukbang.
Just slide into Isaac's DMs. But chuck your questions in the comments and will be passed on. I'll pass them on to our guests. Let's get into it. Obviously, these last 2 years have been colossal in the world of hospitality, changing everything. How has the return to life post-lockdown, hopefully for the last time, been for all of you? Jeremy, let's start with you. What's it been like getting back into the world? It's
been good, honestly. This time around, we really kept almost all of our staff. In fact, everybody came back that started. And so that's been the biggest thing. It's like we're able to run the businesses really well. We've got people coming in, and it's just so nice to be able to like welcome people back into your shop. It's been amazing, honestly. And the second break, was a bit more stressful, I would say. Kind of you knew what was coming and didn't feel as fun and weird as the first time around. There was something kind of strange about the first one, but this second one, you know, it was just a bit of a ball drainer, honestly. We still I can say whatever I want.
It's on language warning, just in case you missed it at the beginning. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been nice to get people back into the thing. And honestly, it's just nice to go out and have dinner and not eat your own food and not drink beers out of your fridge.
Yes.
And that's really the best bit about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just loving it again.
Kobi, you were doing takeaways during the lockdown, but now you're back into dining in service. How has that been from an operations point of view? Was it overwhelming kind of trying to navigate all the different lockdowns and restrictions?
Yeah, it was pretty exhausting. But it was actually, I remember being really stressed about coming back into service for about a week leading up to this most recent reopening. Especially because we were supposed to be checking vaccines, which was like, everyone was really scared. But it's actually been really great.
Yeah.
I haven't had anyone yell at me yet.
Great.
And that's great. And everyone's been really happy to be out.
Yeah.
So it was a nice, I was expecting it to be really stressful, but it has been stressful, but it's been enjoyable.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Like most of working in hospital, I guess, right? It's stress and also joy. I forgot how nice it was to have customers in the cafe. Yeah.
And yeah, that's been great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you remember why you did it in the first place.
exactly.
Yeah. You're like, oh, people are nice. I forgot
Yeah.
about them.
Oh, that's good.
I forgot about them.
I'm glad people are being nice. Isaac,
Yeah.
was there places you were like particularly excited to be seeing reopen or particularly excited to eat and drink at?
Similar to like the drinking at home thing, just getting pictures of food that weren't in cardboard boxes.
Yes.
And not that I think any chef did it deliberately, but I think when you're someone who makes nice food and you present it beautifully and you know it's going in a box and getting delivered somewhere 15, 20 minutes, arriving at a customer, a little bit of like notice to detail was going out of plating and stuff during hospo because it was just a drain. Like you weren't getting the gratitude coming back in from customers, but you were still expected to put out the 100% effort from the hospo workers. So that I'm really looking, like I'm enjoying having back again. And just the freedom to move around and actually go, like you see somewhere that you want to go, you can just go there.
Yeah.
You don't kind of pigeon mark it or put a pin drop on Google and go, oh, in 3 months I'll go there when I can.
Yeah.
So it's just enjoyable to have that freedom.
Yeah. What was the first place you went?
Oh, I think I visited actually just like a friend who owns a hospo business that had been affected during lockdown and had the opportunity to reopen.
Yeah.
And it was like a double-edged sword of like going and trying to support a friend, but also just dining in and enjoying food that I hadn't been able to have for 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you guys? What was the first bookings you made?
Somewhere really random. I think I didn't initially go, oh, we can go back out again. And it actually felt quite strange to like drive down King Street, Newtown, and there were people out lining up. And I was like, what is this? Felt like an old person getting cranky. But I think we just ended up like at the Banksia Hotel or something one night after soccer or something. It wasn't like a planned thing. And I was like, oh, this is the first time I've been out for a while. So.
You mentioned before you were a bit nervous about the checking for vaccines and that kind of compliance. What have been some of the other challenges, and jump in on this too, that you've faced since reopening?
It's been really rainy.
Yeah. No, but that does in Sydney.
They're like, oh, we're gonna build the whole recovery based on outdoor space, and you're like, oh, well, perfect timing, La Nina.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So apart from that, it's been really nice. No challenges. That's a total lie, but
perfect every day, an absolute gem. Yeah.
Love it.
I kind of do want to ask you, I know it sounds dumb, but I do feel like Sydney kind of does shut down in the rain. Like, do things like that really affect patronage? Yeah?
I get angrier in the rain.
Angrier?
Yeah. I don't know how far you guys live from your workplaces or how much travel you have to do around Sydney, but like more people have to drive in wet weather because, you know, they avoid public transport, they don't walk or ride a bike or moped, whatever. And then I feel like once you've been in Sydney traffic for any longer than 25 minutes, you're just more aggressive than you were previously.
Yeah.
And if that's at the start of your day, it can just snowball
Grumpy
You get
bums.
to work grumpy, suppliers 10 minutes late, you're grumpy. Then
Yeah.
I hate that sweaty raincoat feeling too. You know, that's the worst.
I was
That's-
on the bus. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, not to
No,
make it
I
up
want to
to you.
hear this in bus.
But I saw the lady next to me texting about me being sweaty in my raincoat, and I was like, I'm not. I didn't realize we were just out committing warfare on each other post lockdown. But
I'm shocked about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
people,
Should've
anyway,
just taken
if you're
the phone
watching,
and-
I hate you.
Put sweat on her.
Yeah. But specifically raincoat sweat.
Yeah, and I was like, damn.
I thought I was the first person to discuss this. And I'm
No.
crazy that you had an anecdote right there waiting for it. It's
Do you know what
amazing.
it was? Is that she was an older lady, so her font was about. Like,
Oh, I
so
love that.
could
My
really
grandmother's
see-
so big. It's incredible.
I could see her writing about me. I was like, I'm sorry.
Did she tag you in it? Like, was it a public thing?
Yeah, at me next time. Yeah, no, it's just a text on a family chain, I guess. No one was interested though, so I don't know why this got into a stranger's
No, I like you.
family
This is-
text
yeah.
chain, but whatever. Okay, back to actual things. You guys, it seems like you've got a lot of shared experiences from being in this industry for so long. Do you feel like the sense of community has changed, especially in the Sydney hospo scene, through these lockdowns?
Yeah, I think for the good people and the good places, people that have like looked after their staff and hung on to people and treated their people well. I think that the community's been really strong, and you see it like places that had a really good team or fostered a really good like family connection between everybody. Like that's kind of expanded to take in other places around it as well. Yeah, it does really feel like it. So in this area, we've got a few different bars around here, and the guys are really well connected with everybody. Same as in the city, like they all kind of go out and drop into everybody's bars on the night, you know what I mean? So that, like, I feel like we really, I don't know whether it's stronger, but it's definitely still there.
You're seeing
So-
more of people, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
cool. Yeah. I mean, Isaac, you're across like a bunch of different businesses. Have you
Yeah.
seen a change in how they're approaching, I guess business post lockdown?
I think during the lockdown, it's probably the most, in a funny way, like I live in Western Sydney. It's probably the most segregated I've ever seen Sydney for a long time. I've only been in Sydney for 5 years. And it's the first time I've ever really, there's, sayings and whatever, but like the West and the East was very divided on more than just one front. And I think, on a micro level, it probably reinstated or whatever, like the East had to support the East. They couldn't leave the East.
Sure.
So they were in that bubble.
Because they're in that 5K.
The West, the West were in the West. They couldn't leave that bubble. So coming out of lockdown, like I think a lot of locals discovered venues that they might have been local to for a long time, but had always gone elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's probably like really like made a local micro community a lot stronger. Like you were saying, within Surrey Hills, within Darlinghurst, all of a sudden now you're like, for 4 months you've been in this support local mindset that no longer you're like, I might go across the bridge or I don't have to go to Bondi to go out.
Yeah.
And in the West, like if you're going out, you go to the city or you go. So there's almost a subculture in the West now where they've had to develop something. And there's still going to be like, there's reasons to go other places, but it's almost every community now is self-sufficient. Like they've found ways to provide everything you need, a bar, a nightclub, or this or that.
Do you think that's for the best?
Not in terms of that segregation, because like now it's almost a further divide, what was already there.
Yeah.
I think it'll break down in time, and obviously like the diffusion of the population needs to move away from the highly dense areas. So like
Totally.
people from the east in the city move out west to get more land, bigger houses, whatever.
Yeah.
But short term, certainly, like we were saying off camera, if you're freshly 18, that rite of passage is go out in the city or you go to a well-known nightclub. Now you might have spent that first 6 months at like your local pub. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that becomes habit, and then habit becomes behavior. And so now like on a Friday night, you just go to the local
Yeah.
instead of going out and venturing further.
I wonder if it's going to mean there's going to be lots of great cities
I think it's
around the world
innovative,
have
nice.
like these great hubs where there's lots
Villages
of little
type
bar,
of-
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can only see that as being a
Oh,
really
yeah.
positive thing.
As long as it's sustainable. Like my fear is that like businesses that have been dreamt up or innovated during lockdown, once all the walls come down and we have freedom to move and there isn't necessarily a need for it,
Yeah.
how much have they invested? How much of their livelihood, have they left a good solid job to put time and money into their dream, and then 6 months after lockdown, it's kind of like an unnecessary business model.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Kobe, I mean, you know, you're serving people coffee, like, which I feel like people are so tribal about anyway, so loyal. Have you noticed much of a difference from customer side, in like with like less of the foot traffic coming through from the city's edge? Because you're right at that base of is it Wentworth Avenue?
So we're just Commonwealth Street.
Yeah.
So I mean, like PCP experienced a bit of a drop in lockdown because people weren't coming into offices. But Reuben Hills, which isn't that far away, it's like, I don't know, 3 blocks down the road, but a bit more of a neighbourhood area.
Yeah.
We had like daily regulars coming in, which was really nice. Yeah, I mean, since we reopened, like I feel like we've just been so busy. I don't know if it's Christmas or people are just excited to be out, or probably just a combination of both. But on the weekends, just packed.
I rode past on the weekend. There were so many people standing out the front. I was like, there's like something going on here.
Yeah.
I really felt for you. I'm like, I could see the sweat, the raincoat sweat beating off from over here. I was texting my family, chatting about it, actually.
And I was sitting next to him on the bus. It was awful. We've got a comment from Facebook, Katie Booth, saying, so hard to connect with customers with masks on, but still feel safer wearing them. Have you noticed, is that like from a service side, have you felt impeded by that?
I can't imagine how it would feel in a bar.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard in a cafe.
Yeah, I really feel for the guy. I don't work that much service, honestly,
Yeah.
but I really feel for our guys that all day, you know. And yeah, it's especially in these kind of places like. It's so much of it is about connection, and you're just like missing this huge piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I think now they're mostly getting at the nightclub. They're mostly just getting by with hand signals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
really trying to draw my eyebrows big now as well to try and really
yeah,
sell it.
that's
I'm
good.
happy.
I have that one over there.
Well, speaking of community in the hospo business, let's hear from some of our chef friends. First up is Kung Nguyen, owner of Hello Auntie in Marrickville and Bar Meats & Co., who, funnily enough, was on this first episode of Hot Takes. Here he speaks about the personal aspects of running businesses.
If you're looking to build a brand and you want it to be successful, you can't do it by yourself. Everything plays a part. If you can't tell a good story, you don't have good marketing, you don't have good cutlery, like good color scheme, everything is all wrapped into one. If one of those things is out of balance, right, it throws the whole thing off. It comes from a saying, right? When people used to say, look, it's not personal, it's just business. That's f***ing bullshit. Business is very personal, right? Money is money, $100, $100, $1 million, right? But how you get it, how you behave, how you interact with people, right? That matters, right? That determines who you are as a person, who you are as a human.
Kung Nguyen there from Hello Auntie talking about business being personal. Do you guys agree? How personally do you take the business side of things?
Me, very personally. Yeah, this is my whole life. I think if I didn't have 2 kids, I'd just work 7 days a week, honestly. I know it's a bit weird.
That's sad, dude.
It's so sad. I'm obsessed.
Don't let your kids stop you.
No,
Just
I know.
work 7
I
days.
don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I had to cook them dinner, that's it. I'd just be here all the time.
I mean, Isaac, your approach, I mean, because social media is so personality driven, how do you deal with like the nasty side of social media?
On my personal account, I'm pretty prickly. Like, I call a spade a spade. One of the biggest things I've pushed for a long time is transparency. So like, I will call out bullshit straight away.
Yeah.
And whether that's fraudulent stuff or just behavior that I think's wrong, and I have no issue with that because I am who I am. So if someone hates me or wants to throw mud at me, like, I don't care. I grew up in a country town, so like, I'm thick.
You got the country fight.
Exactly. Like, what words on the internet? Come on.
Totally.
But I'm also like, I treat all my clients like family, or extended family, and it's, so I get very defensive of them, and that's where I have to find that medium of like Isaac stepping back, guy who owns the media company, sort of handling it, diffusing it, and like my actual family, like being a public figure, again, I don't care if anyone attacks me, like come at me, I don't
Totally.
care. But the minute you bring up my wife or my children or my extended family, it's like, no, they're off limits.
Yeah.
Like, I always think of the ice hockey, the NHL, like, they will literally let two guys gloves down and go at each other,
Yeah.
and they'll just let them fight. They're like, you guys got into this, you get yourselves out of it. The minute a third person comes in, they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, not cool. So, in regards to that, like, I guess it's just, like anyone, finding the right option in the, like, you got to step back sometimes.
Totally.
The emotion...
From the social media punch on.
Yeah. Well, social media just escalates so quickly. Like a punch on, you get one or two punches and guy separates you. No one's separating you on social media.
Right.
If anything, they're egging you on because it just snowballs and someone else gets involved and they, throw some fuel on the fire and before you know it, you're like a lot deeper in trouble than you ever wanted to be.
Yeah. Speaking of, if you've got any questions, chuck them in the Facebook comments.
If you want to feud him,
Yeah,
just
if you want
hit
him
up.
to go, chuck it in. Kobi, I mean, moving away so much from social media fighting, but just to, getting annoying customers, bad reviews, that kind of thing. Not that I know that PCP doesn't really get a lot of bad reviews, but how do you, at the end of the day, kind of separate business from your personal life? How do you shake it off? Or do you just kind of accept that it's one and the other?
I don't think I'm the best at it.
Yeah.
And I think my partner would agree. But actually, in a way, lockdown helped that a little bit. And I don't know, it's really hard. Like, for me, it's not so much the reviews or social media. I'm terrible at social media. So don't try to
I've seen the cat pics. I've seen the cat pics. They're good.
I mean,
Cat
yeah,
photos are great.
if you're a cat enthusiast, definitely follow me. But yeah, I don't really look at social media or reviews that much. For me, it's just the day to day, like people texting, can't work tomorrow, and it's like it's your one day off, and you're like, oh, now I have to sort about tomorrow, or like the chef's texting about something at like 9 p.m. or something like that. Like, it is really hard.
Go to bed, chef.
Yeah, I know, right?
Have a lie down.
Yeah.
But
Do you have like a certain activity that you've made sure is nothing to do with hospo, like just something that is just for you?
No, I need one.
Okay.
Any ideas?
Chuck them in the Facebook comments, your suggestions.
Get Kobi a hobby.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some comments coming through about this. Ian Grant on the Facebook comments saying, no shame in being totally passionate about your business. Yoda
Ian.
Han saying, I'm a happier person because of people with passion for food. Massive respect. And this is a question from Adrian Petich, who says, between lockout laws and lockdowns, it seems like there's a whole generation in Sydney who have already missed the nightclub rite of passage. How do you guys see that impacting people's wider dining out behaviour? So I guess, have you got people who are just coming to this and having no idea how to act in public, or?
Do they lack the social etiquette once they start drinking?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I think that 18-year-olds are so nice. That's the scariest thing about it. They're like the nicest generation.
Feel a responsibility
I think we
to
are the
culture them,
dickheads.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Why do you think you're the dickheads?
Oh, I just think back to when I was 19 and 18. I'm like, these people are way nicer. They actually just care about dancing for TikTok.
Yeah.
And that's literally it. It's amazing. They're so nice, and they all dance really well.
Yeah, that's true. This
That
generation
is a
does
huge.
dance well.
They dance very, very well.
What were you
Yeah.
going to say?
Or do you think the internet, because the internet, I'm presuming, wasn't as prevalent when you were 18 going out for the first time. Like, you could be a dickhead and it wasn't going to be on the internet in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you think people are self-aware now
Definitely.
of what they're doing in public and the fact that everyone in the room is potentially sharing it, gossiping about it?
100%. They're going to text it on the family chain about sweating out your raincoat.
Someone's sweating next to me.
All right.
I think that's totally it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That they've always had this camera on them.
Do you think it goes the other
about
way?
it, though.
Do you think there are some people that are over the top being, bad customers or dickheads to make a scene, to try and generate?
Oh.
I don't think so. I don't understand
Ooh.
that. But maybe they're out there.
I mean, there is
I'm sure they're
that,
out there, but just whether or not they're in your
restaurant
bars.
pop up at the moment, the Karen Cafe,
Oh, yeah,
where
Karen
you've got
Steiner,
to
yeah.
you get the worst service and you have to be a
Oh,
Karen
I like
about
that.
it.
That's good.
Yeah. Question for Kobi. What's your cat's names?
I've got Neo and Clove.
Oh.
From Matrix, like you're a fan of Matrix?
I actually hadn't watched The Matrix until I got in. No,
have
he
watched The
was.
Matrix now though, right?
I have now.
Promise
yes.
me.
Yes, I haven't seen all of them. I've seen the first two.
Oh, don't worry about the rest.
Yeah, the third one. Well, you watched the new one coming out,
That's
but
all. That's the only thing.
Is there a new one coming
there's
out?
a new one coming out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
It's time to chuck some more Uber Eats vouchers your way. And also, put more questions in the comments. We love getting them. If you've got
About
a
the
question
Matrix.
about the Matrix,
Keanu
about
Reeves.
cats, or even hospitality, chuck them in the Facebook's comment section. If you've just joined us, we're doing some food trivia questions throughout the live stream. For your chance to score a $20 Uber Eats voucher, just drop the number question you're answering and the answer into the Facebook comments chat, and we will contact you after the show if you're a winner. Isaac, can I get you to ask these questions? The next 3 trivia questions. Just
This is a G up.
yeah.
Which Chippendale nightclub packed up shop in 2020 and started a pastel-hued restaurant in Darlinghurst?
That's question 1.
On to question 2. Ooh, relevant. What flavour McFlurry did McDonald's just launch on Uber Eats? A, I give them the options?
Yeah.
A, Tim Tam. B, Iced Vovo. Or C, Tiny Teddies.
Yum.
Ooh, tiny teddies would be good.
Yeah.
And then question 3, true or false? So just drop true or false. Michelin stars are awarded by the same Michelin that makes tyres. True or false?
In my mind, it is the gigantic Michelin man rocking up to very fancy restaurants
Yeah.
and barging in, like not being able to quite squeeze through the door. That's just in my mind. I don't go to those restaurants,
How would he
clearly.
hold? Yeah, how would he hold the fork?
Oh, true.
I don't, does he have
yeah.
fingers?
I feel like stars
I feel
would be
like they
happy.
are,
Yeah.
but they're like quite far apart.
Maybe the stars are what they use as. Anyway, this is very stupid. I've got the answers to the trivia questions. Answer 1, the Chippendale nightclub that shut in 2020 and started a pastel-hued restaurant in Darlinghurst is Frida's. Answer 2, McDonald's just launched a Tim Tam flavoured McFlurry on Uber Eats. And answer 3, it's true. Michelin stars are awarded by the same brand that makes the tyres. Whether or not it's the gigantic Michelin man, we'll have to find out maybe later in the live stream. All right, Kobi, I've got a question for you. You are the head of what is a massive operation across multiple venues. It must be really hard when it comes to the issue of standing down staff, especially in the past year. How have you dealt with that kind of stress, and how do you go about rebuilding?
Trying to think back to the first one, because it wasn't as much of an issue with this last lockdown. There were so many government payments that it was actually quite easy. It's just really, it just sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just try to have conversations with everyone, and I hope to never have to do it again.
Are you like Band-Aid fast, or you like let them down gently, take them out to a lunch or something and just slide it into
we
conversation?
I honestly can't remember because it was like, it feels like so long ago, even though it wasn't that long ago. But it was just like a crazy few days. And I just remember having conversations with people. To be honest, it wasn't that many staff because we had a lot of working holiday visas at the time that were just trying to get home.
Sure.
So we had a lot of people resign anyway. But yeah, I really felt for some of the workers that were on temporary visas that didn't have any assistance, especially in that first lockdown. Yeah, and there's not, I mean, I don't know, how did you find it? Like,
It was horrible. The first one was way worse than the second one. Because we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it was 2 weeks until there was JobKeeper.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we could just see, we paid people for, I think the 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then, that might be a lie, I can't really remember. But,
Someone's DMing you right
yeah, that's what I was
You
saying.
did not pay me for that.
Yeah.
But then, we're very relieved, obviously, when JobKeeper came through, obviously. And then the second time around, a bit more confident about it, and we kind of knew what the drill was.
Yeah.
Did you prefer the second time around where the payment went straight to the person instead of to you and then you had to forward it on?
I don't think it really made a difference.
Made no difference.
Yeah.
No. As long as people were getting the money, I think that was the key, really. It was amazing. And because it
Second
kept
one was really
going
Yeah.
as well, it was so good for
For the two
opening.
businesses, did you get much financial assistance for the...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't do the finances. So
We got a whole bunch of new tables. So.
I don't have an idea. But yes, we did. Thank you, Australian government.
On the flip side, I mean, were there any positives to come out of the lockdown? I mean, obviously the added government support from, like, obviously helped with that kind of thing. But were there any positives for you guys from these lockdowns in terms of, like, even just
Good to have a bit of time off.
Yeah.
Which was nice. I mean, it gave us a chance to sort of review our systems, reset a little bit. Mostly just, like, it wasn't time off, it wasn't a holiday, but a lot of our staff really, dropped back to like 1 day a week. And I think that was good.
Yeah.
I know it was good for me.
You're saying you reviewed your systems. Like, were there any kind of big changes that happened in that time?
Just like rewriting manuals and reviewing the menu, things like that. No major changes, but it's nice to have a breather and have the time to do it. I can't remember. It's such a blur.
I mean, it does feel like this year is
Yeah.
just like a week ago feels like a year ago. It feels like 10 years ago
it's
before
crazy.
lockdown. There have been some permanent closures to venues around Sydney because of COVID. Are there any that you guys feel particularly sad about seeing close? Any you want to give a shout out to or pay tribute to?
I'll start. I'm as I keep saying, I'm Western Sydney. We lost all you can eat Pizza Hut due to COVID. Because
Hold on out for the homies.
and Sizzler, like I think we had one of the last Sizzlers in all of Australia. So if you've grown up and you haven't had cheesy bread from Sizzler, like you haven't really lived.
It's done.
So I mean, in Campbelltown, I only moved to Campbelltown because we had a Sizzler and an all you can eat Pizza Hut, and I've now lost focus on it.
That's in straight to Bondi.
Like, what's the point? I'm moving to Coogee. It's
Yeah.
just, but that whole, like, I know there are still buffets, but the OH&S must be a nightmare to try and
Totally.
avoid cross contaminations and people moving around, which is a no-no. Like, we have to be seated to get food.
Yeah.
I mean, it does really feel like a class thing as well, right? Because, like, say people who aren't really in a bracket to afford, like, fine dining. Like, that was, I remember for us
or
growing
big
up.
families, like
All you can eat Pizza Hut was the big
Oh, it was
Friday
the
night
best.
dinner. So it does feel like
Definitely.
it is kind of changing, like, the socioeconomic kind of makeup of all this stuff. I mean, how about you guys? Are there any venues in particular you're sad to see go?
neither of you queued up at Marigold over the weekend.
Yeah.
Dude, the queue was so big. No, I went to the
In the
8
rain,
actually.
yeah.
I know, but I feel a bit. I saw the queue. I was like, nah, just go to that one. No, I can't really. Honestly, I can't think of one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean,
maybe
Golden-
I'm mean.
Did-
Golden
Nah,
Century
they
was
get
the
back.
big one.
They're back. They got
Oh,
bored.
they're back.
They're back.
I think they survived. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that whole Marigold thing where it's like, that closing down because the business was struggling, and then as soon as everyone hears that they're closing down,
Yeah,
they
they
show
get
up.
so busy.
I did see someone kind of going off about it being like, it's the most Sydney thing
It
ever.
is,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think people in Sydney, customers in Sydney, are kind of less loyal or less willing to go
I
out
think
of
it's
their way?
Sydney. I think it's the
Yeah.
world. Like our attention spans are just a lot shorter now.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like we always want the new thing, the next thing, and we forget
Yeah.
about the old good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And neglect it until it's taken away from us, and then cry poor that it got taken away from us.
Yeah.
The waiters have the best waistcoats at Marigold.
They do.
That was the #1 feature.
Are they selling them?
Ooh, I can hit up.
Another kind of crisis around like post-lockdown is like the staffing has been quite difficult to find. Can Kobi and Jeremy, can you guys take us through like what's going on there, what that issue is?
Well, the issue of you're probably facing it as well. I think the issue for the industry in the whole is that we're normally like buoyed up by heaps of holiday working visa people, international students. There's just a huge amount of those people that just aren't here anymore in Australia.
Yeah.
So, especially for bigger venues, a lot of people are struggling for staff at the moment. You guys are
Everyone
all right,
is,
aren't
yeah.
you? Okay.
No, I put
you
up
need
a
more?
post this morning.
There you
Sorry,
go.
I liked it. Double tap.
Have a look.
Yeah, I
Are
mean,
you getting
do you-
drawn into the salary war? I'm in a few chef Facebook groups, and it's just ridiculous what some venues are going to the lengths of offering.
what kind of
kitchen
stuff
hands.
are they doing?
No, literally, like they'll be offering kitchen hands $50 an hour
Yeah, wow.
for weekend work or something, and it's just like chefs getting a $5,000 fee just for signing on with a business as long as they commit to 3 months because they're just that desperate, and it's almost. I see it as unsustainable because you can't ever like decrease someone's salary without getting yourself in trouble, sort of with consumer affairs and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
But once you create a new norm like precedent, it's hard to go back from it.
Yeah.
It's kind of good for the
It's good for the workers, but
Yeah.
like hospo's always working on this fine line of profit margins and
Yeah.
like what's good for the business and good for the customer. And
Yeah.
if it's unreasonable for 3 months to get us through the staffing crisis,
Yeah.
you know, you're not going to put all your menu prices up 25% just because we get staff in all of a sudden. But
Right.
that's
Yeah.
the new wage.
I don't know. I think that obviously wages are going to have to rise. I think
Yes.
that's part of it. But I don't think that most people, especially people in hospitality, care as much for the money as people think. I think they mostly care for good employers that do nice things for them.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
a good
They
representation, that kind
care
of thing.
about
Yeah.
where they're going and who they are.
So do you think like a solution to that is that hospo culture will just have to kind of change and become
Yeah.
more regulated in
all
that way?
robots.
All robots.
Yeah,
Just
that's
fully
the future.
automated.
Joke about
Full
it. It's
hospo
happening.
Yeah.
Terminator.
I have clients
Yeah.
wanting those robots that just like the vacuum cleaners that just go around the floor and bring drinks and food to your table.
Wow.
And I'm
So
like,
good.
Doesn't that kill hospo?
I'm
Like, isn't
joking.
it-
Of course,
Oh.
it would. No, it's horrible. But you know that things will happen.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
I don't know. We're not getting replaced by robots anytime soon. But
Not as owners.
Oh.
true. I'll
Yeah.
be the proud owner of some robots.
Well, if any robots are watching,
Yeah.
please drop in the comments your rates, what you need to start working the pubs in Sydney. Let's chat. Let's take it back to the community of hospo. This time we're going to hear from Dorothy Lee. She's one of the co-owners of Hearts Yard in Sydney, and she's going to chat about building a brand's profile with a particular focus on social media.
I think the biggest thing about rebranding is you have to have a very clear vision of your new brand. You have to know your people, as in know your customers. At the end of the meal, just get some feedback. What do you think about the new version of this? Like, do you like this more? We don't actually have a PR company, so it's just me and my partner. We spend a lot of time, even with taking a photo, just be like, this is a spot that we are taking the dish every single time, so that when people see the marble top, that they will associate that, oh, it's Hasya, or with the background of the bar. The last week, we finally opened our door after a few months of lockdowns. The first service was absolutely amazing. It's like riding a bike, and everybody felt the same. We just have a goal, is to make everybody happy, do delicious food, and give them some really good drinks, and have really good chat with them, and we were able to deliver that very proudly.
That's Dot from Hearts Yard there, chatting all things social media. Isaac, you're the king of social media.
Lord.
Okay.
Sorry.
My humble apologies. What are some common mistakes you see hospo brands doing on social media?
Probably, it's. I wouldn't say it's deliberate, but I think time poor owners neglect the thought that goes into it sometimes. They know they need to be doing it, so they do it, but it's at a rush. They're not really sure why they're doing it, but they know they need to do it. And so they haven't thought about branding or, strategically why they're posting it at a certain time of day.
Sure.
They just kind of go with the thought stream of oh, we're open for lunch. Post a picture of food at lunch and I'll get busy and make money.
Right.
So I think that is sort of the number one issue, just the thought that's going into it. And then even then back to the branding, if you're putting something on the internet, make sure people know that it's yours.
Right.
It's almost like that IP thing. A beautiful dish is great, but if I look at it, or someone in WA looks at it, someone in Asia looks at it, and they can't tell that it's yours, because of the way the internet works and how everything gets on-shared, and it's just very important. Make sure that if you're going to post something, people can recognize it just from looking at a photo or a short video that it's yours
Yeah.
when they see it.
Are there any brands that are absolutely doing it right at the moment that you recommend people check out?
A lot, actually. I think the extra time off, a lot of people, new businesses, old businesses that rebranded or sort of may have changed staff during that lockdown period. I do notice it is kind of more in the areas of culture. You're in a West, you're East, where they've probably got a little bit more budget spend too,
Sure.
to maybe get a graphic designer or to have someone on staff that's, fresh out of uni or something. But it just makes a huge difference, because once you've got sort of a platform, a brand guide, you can do merch, you can do packaging, you can do all these things where coming from like my sector, fast food, burgers and stuff, you cannot, walk past a McDonald's and see a bin and not recognize it.
Yeah.
And then you recognize it, you think about when you ate McDonald's last. And then before you know it, you're like 11 o'clock on Friday night getting a Big Mac. Because it's that touch point where you've had nostalgia.
Yeah.
And that's what sort of the key to the branding side is.
Yeah. Right.
Rubbish.
Well, mate, don't get me started on stats, but Red Bull did it. And they literally put 6,000 empty Red Bull cans out on the street when they launched. And it worked wonders.
Well,
Empty cans.
Wow.
Well, like actual cans?
They literally just dumped empty Red Bull cans in bins everywhere. Everyone walked past a bin and went, why are there so many of these empty cans? Thought process was must be good because everyone else is drinking it. Went and bought it.
Wow. And what I do,
Never
it's
realised that.
littering. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Well, let's take a quick seltzer break, shall we? And get into some more trivia questions so I can give you more Uber Eats vouchers. So all you need to do, drop the number question you're answering and the answer into the Facebook chat, and we'll contact you after the show if you're a winner. Jeremy, just as you're close, do you want to read the first question?
Yep. Okay, question 1. When was tiramisu invented? Was it 1898, 1921, or 1969? Pause briefly to let viewers answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Question 2. Which big Sydney hospitality group is taking over the food and drinks at the SCG?
Ooh.
And question 3. Did the banh mi originate from North or South Vietnam? There you go.
There we go. Thank you.
Controversial.
Chuck your answers in the Facebook chat. You can be getting some Uber Eats vouchers. All right, cool. Do you want to do the last question, actually, Kobi? It's
Sure.
question 4. I don't know why Jeremy just decided to stop after 3, but that's fine.
Are we
You
here?
said 3
thank
questions.
you.
You
Oh,
said,
sorry, yeah.
read
Oh, that
the-
one?
I always follow
Oh, he stopped
instructions.
because of my specific thing I asked him to do.
Yeah, I'm very obedient.
Question 4. What is the name of the Fruit Loops toucan?
Right.
I don't know.
Chuck your answers in the chat and you can cop some vouchers. We're running out of time. This has been so fun. Let's get into a few more questions. Everyone, I want your ideas on what you're most excited about in the hospo scene for the next few months.
What am I most excited about in the hospo scene? You got something? Come on.
Look, to be honest,
These are all, I'm watching the Facebook
again,
three
like
very
from,
burnt out
from my
people.
sector, Wahlburgers opening at the Darling Harbour area. Like,
Oh, wow.
That's supposed to be opening December, so I'll be very keen to go
I
and
thought
try
you just
that.
said Wahlburgers.
Oh, I did.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Mark
Right.
Wahlberg opened his burger shop in Sydney.
So I was just picturing a
Wahlburgers.
wall with burgers. It was-
I feel like they've missed a whole marketing
Well,
strategy
yeah.
with that.
They should build a house from burgers.
Watch out, Paramount. Wahlburgers are going to
Social
poach
media
you.
right itself.
Yeah, and she said she wasn't good at it.
no.
Lies.
It's like it just like comes out of the wall. That'd be great.
How about you, Jez?
I am excited to drink Italian wine at Pasky. I am excited to eat some 70s French food at Ursula's. I'm doing that on Wednesday, actually. I'm excited to go and see Dune or Dune. I'm not sure how to say it, actually.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know either.
I think Dune. It makes it sound very posh. Dune. I'm going to see Dune on Sunday. Very excited about that. Is that enough?
Yeah.
But it's very quite personal.
Yeah, I mean, you've given away where you'll be on Wednesday night, but that's cool.
Anybody wants to join me, I'll be there. Throw it in the comments.
If you want to snake his reservation.
Yeah.
How about you, Kobi?
I'm excited for masks to come off.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen anymore, but that would be nice. I'm excited for the company Christmas party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going lawn bowling? That's the question.
Barefoot bowl?
No.
Barefoot bowls. That's a classic company Christmas party.
Yeah.
That'd
Well,
be
I-
nice though.
Actually,
Lawn foot.
Do you do it in-house or you go to an external venue?
We're doing it sort of in-house this year.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
The Christmas parties this year are just going to be absolutely loose, as I feel.
Yeah.
Chris Jameson on Facebook says, awesome to see Paramount Coffee Project team up with AP Bread during lockdown and now Bush. Great to see the sense of community. Are there any other local collabs to look forward to? I guess for everyone. But we'll start with you, Kofi.
I don't know. What have you got?
Chuck him in.
Hit me up.
Chuck him in. Collabs you're excited about coming up?
We're working with P&V over the next few weeks to sell our seltzer a bit, which is going to be cool. So we're going to do a pop-up tasting there on Saturday, actually. So you're going to know where I am for my entire week. See my entire schedule with everybody.
And what's your mother's maiden name?
Password?
yeah.
With a capital D, actually.
Isaac, how about you?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, I think I'm just excited in general for like a stress-free summer or stress-less summer. I think I'm still not convinced. Like, we thought we were in the clear last Christmas, and something rears its ugly head. It's just the time of year, and so I guess it's just like not live every day like it's your last, because it's not Armageddon or some shit, but like, you know, don't say no to an offer or an invitation, or if there's a break in the crap weather, like go and do something nice.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know if it'll be all summer or for how long we'll have it until the next thing happens.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to living a bit of life.
Live laughing and loving. A couple more questions from Facebook. Ian Grant wants to know, have any of the panel invented a signature dish?
I've invented a signature drink. Thank you for
Yes.
mentioning shameless plug alert. I am the proud inventor of this sparkling margarita seltzer right here. I got a very intelligent question over here that it was, is it a margarita made into a seltzer or a seltzer flavoured margarita or a margarita flavoured seltzer?
Yeah.
The answer to that question is it is a margarita flavoured seltzer. Yes. Yes, I invented it.
Yep. Where can people call?
Oh, people can buy it now, actually. Thank you for that.
yeah.
People can definitely buy it now. You can buy it from Drinks with no I, Drunks. You can buy it. They deliver nationwide, actually. And from P&V in Newtown and Paddington, at all of our bars and lots of other bars around town. Yes, it's very tasty.
6-packs or individuals?
4-packs and 24 packs.
Wow.
Cartons.
Carton.
Wow.
Do you love a carton?
Well, that sounds like a steal.
There we go.
We shall all hold one. Would you like one, Kobi?
Sure.
Another question from Facebook. Richard
pass me another
Fogarty
one, so
asks, digital
open it and
menus
drink
and
it if you
ordering, a fad or the future?
Oh, definitely the
got
future.
The future?
Yeah.
No more touch and paper? A paperless society?
Sorry, I
I
missed the
think-
question.
Oh, it's digital menus.
Digital menus.
Fad
Oh,
or
my
QR
God.
codes.
yeah, like ordering from table with the thing as well.
How quick are either of you going into the NFT space with your businesses?
Yes.
What?
Is this an
That's
NFT right
crazy.
now?
Yeah.
Is this a? I don't know what an
Can I own
NFT.
it?
Yeah, what's that?
I know it stands for non-fungible token, and I know
That's
that
exactly
everyone,
right.
You've lost
when
me.
people explain it to me, I just hear white noise in my head.
I just thought I sounded smart.
Digital artwork ownership on the blockchain.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
I
just
don't
happened
understand
again.
what I
I'm
just said either,
investing
but
in
I'm
whatever
just-
you're selling because you know more.
We're thinking about minting some kind of coin, but I don't understand it. So that's what our graphic designer said he wants to do. So I said, go for it, young man.
Wow. Okay. We are living in the future.
Yeah.
This is
Back to
crazy.
cashless, bud. Are you noticing with less cash flow through the cafe, it's presenting other difficulties? No?
No, I mean, it's harder to get like
Illegal
$20
Incidentals,
out
yeah.
of the till to go buy some mint or something, but no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We are absolutely running out of time, so I got to race through this last question. What was the last great meal you all had?
Oh God.
I had an amazing deep fried fish at Chat Thai last week.
Oh,
So good.
Chat Thai.
Chu chi curry sauce on the bottom, some kind of salady bit on top. Ooh,
Dang.
so good.
Nice. How about you, Isaac?
Yeah, follow that.
I was literally at a mate's barbecue yesterday where he did smoked beef shin tacos.
Oh, that wins.
So,
That sounds great.
Yeah, shout out Norm. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, good on you, Norm.
How about you, Kobi?
I feel like I've forgotten a restaurant outing because this was quite some time
Can
ago.
be at
but,
home too, as well.
Oh, you know what? Yes, we got Sokyo at home delivered during lockdown, and it was really good. Yeah, it was
Like
amazing.
sushi?
Sushi, and then there was a tasting menu as well.
Oh,
It was a
cool.
lot of food, actually.
Did
But
you
it
have
was
to
really
cook
great.
it?
Risky.
No, one bit, I think. There were like instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What
That
did
sounds
anybody
good.
get any good ones? That sounds like it was good.
It was
I don't
good.
know. The only good one I got was the noodles from I can't even remember the one on Crown Street. The
You
can
can't remember
you
it.
help
Hell,
me?
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember it.
Sadly, you didn't share that part of your
It was
life
good. It was good,
on
but
the internet, so I
Anyway,
don't know.
it's
about
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
Ramen.
I didn't trust any of the providor, like, fancy restaurant meals.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, I pay good money for this to be cooked and served to me, and now I'm paying good money to cook it myself and potentially screw it up. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to save those for when I can get to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, this is why we need people to head back out, get back into restaurants, get back into the bars. I'm so sorry we have to end this because I've been having so much fun chatting with you all. This has been so fun. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Kobi. Make sure you keep your eye out on the Concrete Playground socials for more upcoming live stream events. Make sure you check out Uber Eats Enterprise Hub for more stories of passion, creativity, and resilience in the hospo industry. Those Uber Eats vouchers winners will be contacted by the Concrete Playground team. So if you did get a question right, you'll know about it. And thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.